Welcome to Valencia. Tonali Gabo starts on pole from Revo and the championship leader Puff. Then it's Lawless Checlerc, Romy Lebeau and Jonathan Sims starting 6th. Charles Hernandez is 7th from Ocampo and Catfish. Then it's Daniel Bogdasarov. There's Theo, only 11th for the Mercedes EQ driver. Then it's Falstad, UK Ball, the Red Devil and Linus Eriksson breaking the top 15. Outside of it, you've got Lopez and Austin from Kynes and Marcus Nelson. Then it's Devin Butler, teammate Scotland Rotak and Elliot Deli. Well, racing in Valencia, always interesting. Gabo on pole as all 5 lights go on. And race 490 of the ERL is underway, and it's a great start there from Revo off the front row, heading up the hill through turn number 1 they go. Always contact between the front two. Bogdasarov in that newly repainted Edam's Renault car getting a 5-second time penalty, but that now cyan Dragon Nissan trying to reclaim the race lead, and Ocampo gets a 5-second time penalty further back. We've got Carnage, that's Bogdasarov and one of the Mercedes, that is Verse Theo, and also Oscar Falstad involved in that. All 3 drivers heading off the track, and I think Marcus Nelson, yes, he was held up by that incident too. Yellow's in the 2nd sector, but Revo leading the pack from Tonali, Gabo and Lawless Checlerc, and Gabo's got damage, and that's not the only damage that has occurred to the 29. In recent days, it's been found that he has unfortunately said some very not too sensitive things concerning black people, and that has led the ERL to decide to terminate his availability in the Race of Champions in later this month, actually. Salas Kynes, the home driver, currently riding in 13th position as Bogdasarov's pitting. Make that 12th position for Salas Kynes. The man always known for making some great moves. Revo reclaiming the race lead. His attack mode's online. We've got yellows. That is Verse Theo, who is off the track. Front wing damage for the 38. 83% car damage as we're back under greens, track wide. We could see the Battle of Italy between these two before we've even made it to Rome. And for Gabo, you know, that's kind of left him with something to prove. The fact that he's no longer permitted to drive in the Race of Champions, his seat has been taken by Nicholas Palomino. Romy Lebeau in 6th position there, getting the fastest lap, a 52-second lap time. These ERL 2s, they're not even new cars anymore, but they're still so rapid as Gabo, almost forces Revo into the wall, gets the attack mode and takes the lead. But that is one of the single dirtiest moves we've seen in a long time in the ERL. Checlerc moving up into 3rd position and is now all over the back of Revo. And he's looking for a way to reclaim a high-scoring position for the Season 23 Class Champion. Off into the wall again, it's Verse Theo. Groundhog Day for the 38. Unfortunate for him to once again be so close to the wall. As track limits, 5-second time penalty for the 7 coming out of the final turn. We didn't see any other issues there, but it's all through the first turn and obviously turn 2. But as Eriksson also getting a time penalty for track limits, Revo, he doesn't want to make a move, and we've got more yellows down in the 1st sector. That is for Scotland Rotak, off in the wall and hit by Oscar Falstad. Falstad spins. Yellows remain down there in the 1st sector. And we are back under the green flags. Revo leading the pack now in front of Gabo. He got past him going through turn 3, we believe. As we're on board with Puff in the 9. The championship leader leads by about 20 points, so a 4th place finish today would not cause him to lose his championship lead. In fact, he's currently slated to finish 3rd with Revo's time penalty. And yellows in sector 1. That's Verse Theo again as the race leaders go through that opening turn. These guys will not be permitted to use attack mode anymore due to the yellow flags. That's going to help Revo as Verse Theo rejoins the track, and it gets hit by Devin Butler, the rookie from the United Kingdom, getting a 5-second time penalty there. But we are back under the green flags. Tonali Gabo using that attack mode, but to no avail to try and get past him. He's 3/10 of a second behind. Falstad is coming to the pits. How quickly will these tires go off? And oh, a full course caution. It's Gasolin Rossack off the track further back. And that's our full course caution number 1. Now, just quick note here. It is very hot here in Spain. In fact, color grading on our camera means that it's very yellow from where I'm seeing. Maybe in post-production, which is very quick, maybe you won't even notice the yellow tint. 5-second time penalty being served. There's the race leaders coming into the pits. And it is the mediums going on. These Michelin tires are seemingly wearing a lot quicker around this track. Could be down to the higher temperatures. It does mean that the mediums got into a better operating window than the softs a lot quicker. But here comes Linus Eriksson. And unfortunately for Linus, not able to make any move. The Red Devil moving up into 8th position. Revo came out of the pits roughly a second behind Remy LeBeau. That is where his fight seems to be today. The pack in the ERL usually very close, but Versteo at risk of getting put a lap down, as well as Bogdasarov and Falstad, who has been given a 3rd track limits warning. So rounding the final 2 turns, you are puffing the slipstream of the 2 men in front of him. These guys going on to their 7th lap on the same tires that they started the race with, and off the track, who is that? That's Akari Lopez. He's got front wing damage now. He hit the outside wall, rebounded. We saw this with Versteo in Vienna last season. Coming through 1 for Akari. He's got a lot less downforce now, because look at the state of that front wing. Jonathan Sims here trying to get past Leclerc. He gets alongside as Gabo's got a 5-second time penalty for track limits. Jonathan Sims, however, leads here in Spain. Great move there from the Sims Motorsport man, whose team advertising their new international, I believe, airline and shipping business. Falstad getting a track limits penalty as well. Leclerc is trying to go alongside with the Briton in front of him, but he won't be able to make the move. So Jonathan Sims, nicknamed Mr. Worldwide by many, he leads the pack. As Eriksson also into the pits. Cable stays out though. Akari's dropped down to 7th, and he's still going out there with that front wing damage. When is he going to come into the pits? We hope soon. Otherwise, he could fly off into a wall. Luckily, they've kept it clean, unlike Remy LeBeau, who's been given a 5-second time penalty. So is Hernandez, Catfish, and the home driver, Sarlos Kynes, all being hit by time penalties. Oh my goodness, Austin, Deli, and Ocampo as well. We're going to see a whole sea of red. Marcus Nelson, 3rd track limits warning, down in 17th position. And oh, we've got yellows. Full course caution. It's Sebastian Ocampo, and he's upside down. Oh, dearie me. Elliot Deli ran into him. We believe Francis Austin also hit him. Big shunt there. And Deli's got a lot of front wing damage now in what I have to say is quite the stunning Edam's Renault car. Not looking for any points today, unfortunately, however, for that team. Sims is in pit lane to try and benefit from this situation as we get back under the greens. Sims swaps onto the hard compound tires. He's definitely trying to master the strategy today. Lap 9 of 17 for Sims. He really needs to be racing Revo on pit exit, and he's lost that race. We've got yellows in the 3rd sector. We missed who it was for, though. I think it's for Leclerc. No, it's the Red Devil who's been involved. Gabo leads from his teammates. Sims came out of the pits in 6th position there. And oh, yellow's in the opening. It's Elliot Deli, and he is out of this race. Big melee down at turn number 1. Butler, Austin, and the Red Devil involved, as well as Elliot Deli. And we are back under the full course yellows, folks. It's a 1-2 for Dragon Nissan. Advertising the new Nissan Leaf. It's quite the hectic hectic race, and we're not even at 3/4 of the way through. We're at half race distance here in Valencia, but Gabo 3 seconds in front of his teammate, 3.5 seconds in front as we now get back under greens. UKable's done the longest stint of anyone out there, 9 laps on the hard tires, which if he pits soon, it'll basically be the sign to the teams to say, hey look, you're going to be doing the 2-stop. Gabo's come in for his second stop, serves that 5-second time penalty. UKable is into the pits. Jonathan Sims has been given a time penalty for track limits, and you can see why just looking at the guys further down the order. Revo looking for a way to get past Remy LeBeau. Charles Hernandez once again leading laps as we've got yellows. That is for Francis Austin, the Italian driver, off the track and with major front wing damage. Also into the pits there, that's the Red Devil putting on some mediums for his second stint. We don't think it'll be his last. That's a slow-moving UKable due to Hernandez effectively, not even Hernandez, Austin holding him up, and he's gone off the track. Oh, goodness me! Barrel roll and out of the race, Francis Austin. As Bogdasarov getting front wing damage, as if to ruin Renault's day even more. UKable, Remy LeBeau, both into the pits. Soft tires going on for Revo, sorry. UKable already came down pit row. Hernandez, however, crucially missed pit entry, as we are now back under the green flags at 4 full course caution periods already in this race. Kynes is currently running in the top 6 at his home race. Almost seemed like off the track for Marcus Nelson is Remy LeBeau coming out of the pits there very slowly. Akari, a 3rd track limits warning. We ride on board with Tonali Gabo just to see how these guys make their way through 1, and you can see they are just flying off the track. UKable 3rd, another 5-second time penalty, as well as that Akari getting 1, but that's for causing a collision. We thought it would be for track limits, but no, it's a collision. Don't know who that seems to be with the Red Devil time penalty track limits, and he's on his own. Bogdasarov is into the pits. Hernandez leads the pack on lap 12 with that 5-second time penalty, which would currently keep him in the race lead. If not because he's roughly 5 seconds in front of Sims, well then because, well, Sims has a time penalty as well. Puff is currently the only man who can make a difference, and that's a slow-moving Daniel Bogdasarov. And he's just being a good Samaritan here. He is letting the guys in front of him go past. Remy LeBeau with his first track limits warning. Gabo a 5-second time penalty for the man who started this race on pole. I mean, if you take a look at the starting grid and look at where everyone is right now, and then you add the penalties, it's a real shake-up. Like, Linus Eriksson might actually get a podium today. Imagine the scenes in Sweden for that. The IndyCar champion getting the podium. We still haven't seen a driver take a championship in both IndyCar and Formula E, though. And now with 4 laps to go, we've got yellows in Sector 3. That is for Daniel Bogdasarov, front wing damage. The 97 is just having a really rough day. So is Versfeo, to be fair to him. Oh, off the track for Bogdasarov. Oh! T-boned by Marcus Nelson. Seemingly, oh my goodness! Akari Lopez also involved. Remy LeBeau, oh dear, that is a bad shunt for Nelson too. Remy LeBeau seemed to just about miss that entire incident and out of the race for Akari. Couldn't get it back in gear, and Sims just made the move on Hernandez there. Sims making the move the second the caution flags come out. I mean, I think we saw it quite clearly. Sims was going to be ahead, so I don't expect the penalty to come by ways of the Red Bull Sims Porsche driver. Full course cautions ending, and we are back under the greens as into the pits comes the race leaders. Both of them into pit row, as well as Puff. I think, yes, Lawless Leclerc will be leading from Revo as they begin lap 14 of 17. 3-2 the checker. And we've got yellows further back. That is for Salos Kimes, the home driver. Front wing damage for him as Revo leads in Spain, making the move with attack mode. Remy LeBeau currently running 4th on the back of the home driver, who is running a pretty alright race. A 4th place finish is nothing to scoff at, especially for that Mercedes team. Catfish with a 3rd track limits warning further back, so we're on board with Remy LeBeau. Volstad with a 2nd track limits warning. Butler getting the full fat penalty. Coming out of the pits there, that is UK Ball behind. Bottas Arvis making his 4th pit stop of the day. There's Theo, 5-second time penalty for track limits. Revo begins lap 15 out in front. In comes Lawless Leclerc, the only man that can stop the Italian, as he gets past Marcus Nelson, putting a lap on him. The only man that can stop him is Remy LeBeau, but he's 14 seconds back with similarly old tyres. I don't see Remy making any inroads here. The only way Revo is losing this race is through a wreck, as you are Puff, another man who had no penalties before, now sees himself with one. Hernandez trying to get past Jonathan Sims here, makes a lunge, almost runs into you are Puff, but takes 5th position with a stunning move. As you can see, the Scotsman moving up into 3rd. Sims going down the inside, stealing the podium position, making it a 2-3 for Sims Motorsport, but for how much longer? Because there goes the 9, back past the British driver as well, onto the penultimate lap here in Spain. Revo, seated 4th in the standings heading into this race, has not won a race since season 23. It would be a welcome return to the top step for the 4-time Formula E champion. He's in front of his former teammate, Puff. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Sims! Hernandez as well! Antonelli Gabo! It's a big one here in Spain on the penultimate lap. Can you believe it? Both Nissan Nismo drivers involved, as well as Lawless Leclerc. Linus Eriksson gets past Volstad and Leclerc, both on their own out there right now in that wreck. That's going to lose them tons of time as the home driver runs into Lawless Leclerc, who is out of this race. A full course caution on the penultimate lap. 4 wide, we believe. Gabo, Catfish, you are Puff, and Jonathan Sims tried to go, and they have all paid dearly for it. So as we begin the final lap under the full course cautions, Remy LeBeau is in 2nd position, almost a full main straight behind the race leader, Revo. And for Revo, hearing that news on the radio, that so much carnage happened down at turn number 1, that's gonna make him quite happy, I'm sure. He is making his way through the 2nd sector as Gabo is leading this pack of drivers. Puff is still going to walk away with a podium today, certainly still going to be leading the championship. But for Revo, as, oh my goodness, a full course caution, it's Hernandez. Sims also involved. Butler going off the track there. It's another full course caution to end this race. Hernandez, after running a stunning race, is out of this one. For Revo, he can revel in this. It's been all too long since we've seen that number 7 take the top step. Here in Valencia, as the cautions end, Revo takes victory here in Valencia. Remy LeBeau is going to walk away with 2nd here as, oh, that's Salas Kynes, the home driver, hit by UK Ball. Remy LeBeau with a 3rd track limits warning. Puff will come across the line in 3rd and will maintain that 3rd position. And my, oh my, it's just so weird to see that or hear that happen. So many of the top brass involved in an incident that large, as Eriksson not taking 6th by all of 1/10 of a second. Butler getting another track limits warning. That's really unfortunate for Jonathan, though. So much damage. That could have been a podium, a double podium for his team, but, you know, not everything works out. And this is your podium. It's been so long since we've seen Revo take victory, but the Italian's back on the top step. The 4-time Formula E champion Revo taking victory here in Valencia from Remy Lebeau and Ewa Puff. The championship protagonists effectively all in the top 4th. Hit my mic. And a lot more than just that. Taking a look at the rest of your finishes, you have Tenali Gabo from Artful Catfish. That's really going to help him have an argument for keeping his seat at Power Motorsport. Then it's the Red Devil, Linus Eriksson and Jonathan Sims from Falstad and Devon Butler, the top 10. Outside of it, you've got UK Bull, Salos, Kynes, the drivers who finished this race on the lead lap, with Nelson versus Theo and Bogdasarov all off of the lead lap. Your non-finishers were Charles Hernandez, the two pinnacles of Leclerc and Lopez, Francis Austin, Elliot Deli, Sebastian Ocampo, and Skatalin Rotak. So, in terms of your driver standings, Ewa Puff leads the way on 104 points. That's 19 more than Revo. Then it's Tenali Gabo and Remy Lebeau, with Gabo and Lebeau separated by just 1 point. The top 4 quite a ways in front of Jonathan Sims and the Red Devil from UK Bull and Falstad, so I do think we might see a full horse race for the championship, but of course we've still got a long way to go. This is the longest Formula E calendar we've ever had. Then it's Bogdasarov from Ericsson and Kynes. Ericsson currently being the cutoff point for drivers making it into the chase for the cup. And then it's Nelson from Ocampo, Leclerc, Deli and Austin from Catfish, Butler tied with Lopez, Rotak, Hernandez and Versio, who is somehow still yet to score any points. In the constructors standings, heading into the next round of the championship, Panasonic Jaguar lead the way from Red Bull, Sims Porsche and DS Hyperdrive. Outside of the 100-point club, you've got Nissan in front of Andretti by a mile. Then it's Team Edam's Renault 3 points back from Power Motorsport, who are 3 points in front of DS McLaren TGR. Pinnacle Motorsport is 9th from Mercedes EQ, who with just 1 car are beating Mahindra in the standings. Well, that was an action-packed race here in Spain. Great to see Revo finally take the top step again, and we will be very happy to all go through it again when the ERL returns. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.